Hey guys, Jared here, Magnetic Men's Club. Hope everyone's doing well. I have a question for you. I've said this before, I've said this statement before many a times in the past. I've heard tons of people say it, and to a degree, I agree with it, but not entirely. Man must be lucky to have this money, or must be lucky to have this house, or man, you're a lucky guy for having this amazing wife. The idea of success is all about luck. I do agree with it to a degree. I want to talk more about a life hack you can use that will mitigate against luck. The problem with luck is it's not consistent. You know, yeah, you could be walking down the street and you see a $20 bill, you're lucky. But nothing else about that situation would ever happen again. Now, you could be walking down the street the next week later and get $1, or you could be walking down the street and a piano falls on your fucking head. That's luck. You have no control over luck. Just like you have no control over how you were brought into this world. Maybe you were born into a very wealthy family. Maybe you have an inheritance. Maybe your daddy gave you an amazing business or gave you a shit ton of money to start a business. Maybe you're extremely good looking, or if you're a girl, you're hot as hell. None of that you can control. That's luck. You were just born into the right family, or you had the right parents that created an amazing gene, which was you, that made you look incredibly good looking, and maybe you're a model, I don't know. But that's all luck. One of the ways to mitigate that luck is the idea of volume and consistency. Now, I correlate this into business because you might know somebody who's perceived very lucky in business, or everything that they touch just seems to work. But you might not know the back end of that person on what they're doing. They might have what's called massive action or volume. They may be posting all the time on Instagram. They may be creating stories. They might just be doing massive amounts of work. Or let's say they're in sales and they're cold calling twice as many people as their competitors. They're following up with clients twice as much. This is the idea of what's going to negate any luck. It's that idea of volume. The more volume, the more action you put into a task, the less likely luck is going to play a role in it. Just the same way, or the sister of volume, is consistency. And consistency is only just that. It's setting a schedule and sticking to that schedule no matter what. So again, let's say you're a salesperson and every day from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, your goal is 200 phone calls. I don't know what it is, but the company's goal might be 50. You're lapping every single person, every other salesperson in your department. You're going to be perceived by them as lucky, but you're doing 3 times the work as they are. Their perception of luck is your knowledge or your reality of hard work, hustle, and grind. That's volume. Volume, I also call it action. Volume and action, same word. The more you do something, the more effort you put into a goal, a task, the luckier you're going to be perceived. But luck doesn't have a lot to do with it. It's what the world is perceiving as. It's not the reality. And so look into this. Are you doing enough volume? Is your competitors eating your lunch? Are they doing 3 times the amount of work as you? Are you just doing the minimum just to keep the money that you have coming in? All of these things will mitigate against what we call luck. All of these things will push you forward, and having a consistency about it every day. 8 to 10, you're making 200 phone calls. From 10 to 12, you're creating a content for, social media for the next week or the next month. You're doing X amount of emails every day. All of these things is volume. And because you have a set schedule on when these things get done, that's consistency. Over the long term, if you keep doing this and you keep putting in that work, that business will become successful. You can look at it as relationships. The more effort you focus into a relationship, the more time you put into the relationship, the long term the healthier that relationship is going to be. I'm going to give you an example of what I mean because we can all relate to sports. Now, I'm not a sports geek. I admire the shit out of Kobe Bryant. Now, rest in peace. He wasn't just a basketball player. Now, that's what most people know him as, but he owned a shit ton of real estate. He had different companies, but we're going to just talk about the basketball, him being a basketball player. When he first got into the NBA, it's in his own book, it's in his own words. Was he just as talented as his players, as his competitors? Probably. I mean, you're in the NBA. I don't know what the statistics of that, but I'm going to say, what, 0.5%, probably even less than that, of every tall, athletic person gets into the NBA. So at that level, talent has nothing to do with it. They're all equally talented to a degree. He didn't get a lot of playing time the first couple of years. Because he didn't get a lot of playing time, he had a choice to make. He could either work harder to prove to the coaches he deserved more playing time. So what did he start doing? He started practice 3 a days when everybody else was doing 1 a day. And over the course of a year or two, all of that hard work got him up to that level of his teammates where he was getting just the same amount of playing time, maybe a little bit more. But what did he do? He started continually doing 3 a days. He went to different seminars on business, had nothing to do with basketball. He did, I think he was writing about how he was getting into like the psychology of sports and the psychology of people to help him understand, his teammates and everybody. So he was actually taking the basketball and creating this something people have never really seen. I mean, Michael Jordan had it as well, but he continued to do 3 a days. And soon, a couple years later, he was above everybody else. Now, talent-wise, they all had the same amount of talent, but what did he have that the others didn't? He had volume and he had consistency. Those two things got him to be one of the world's greatest basketball players that ever lived. And he took those same concepts and put it into other businesses, other aspects, other avenues of his life. And those things he started to grow exploded as well because he used the same concept. The more I do, if I'm doing 3 a days and these guys are only doing 1 a days and these guys are partying and I'm not on the road and I'm getting rest, I'm eating, I'm drinking my water, he became better than them, not more talented, better than them. And that's the concept that I want you guys to understand, that yes, sometimes we do get lucky in life. Sometimes we're in a position where we do meet somebody that can help us grow a business or create an opportunity. But generally, it's because we're doing more volume, we're putting ourselves into more situations, we're creating more opportunities for ourselves. It's perceived that we're lucky. The more you do, generally, the luckier you become because of those opportunities, because of those doors that are opening for you. So if you're in a business, if you're in a relationship, you can apply this to any part of your life. Consistent, massive action and consistency is going to create the life that you want. It's going to breed the success that you want in your life. I'm going to give you an example of one of my own companies. It's called Scalp International Hairlines. I have a location here in Syracuse and one in Raleigh, North Carolina. By all metrics, it's a small company. I'm the face of the company. I have, a team of marketers around me, but by and large, for the most part, I'm the one who's doing the actual work. And so for that reason, it is a limited company. I can't really expand it out, but it's a company that I love. I kind of want to keep it small just for me. It's like a passion I have where I help men and women who are suffering from hair loss. We'll get into that another time, but I'm selling basically a service to men, mostly. My low-hanging fruit is men and women, but I'm selling a service to men who are balding. Now, there's a lot of balding men out there, but when I started this company, I started looking at what my competitors were doing, and they were basically all doing the same thing. They were posting like lifestyle videos and these fancy cars, these weird ass clothes that they wear, like this Miami kind of look. They were kind of posting this lifestyle, okay? And I understood it. I understood what they want because they're trying to get to the emotional level of somebody who's balding, that they could be like that person. But I kind of went the other way. I started posting more funny things, not making fun of bald people, but keeping it light, keeping that person who's looking at me. I wanted to be more humanized. I wanted them to look at me as a human, not this figure, this avatar that these guys create. I wanted them to look at me as like, yeah, this guy's kind of funny and he's good at what he does. I'm more comfortable with going to this guy. My location in Raleigh, North Carolina, I get people from Kentucky. I don't market Kentucky. I get people from generally the bottom half of South Carolina. I don't market to South Carolina. I get people all the way up into Richmond, Virginia. It's a massive territory. I only market in Raleigh. A lot of this is word of mouth. A lot of this is their friends got it done, and people make the drive to see me. Why am I telling you all this? Is because when you're starting a new business, you need to provide massive value to your clients. You need to look into their clients and figure out what are the gaps in the industry, what are people missing, and provide those gaps. And my sheer volume that I do, the amount of posts that I do, my YouTube videos, just providing free content to people. My website, there's generally brand new blog articles 3 or 4 times a month. I'm just giving away information, educating people on what I do. And so when I give away stuff, when giving out stuff, people do feel reciprocity. They figure this guy is giving me more on this phone call than any other SMP artist. I'm more comfortable coming with him. And I'm consistent about it. Every single day there's posts, there's generating, I'm posting, I'm emailing, I'm phone calling. I'm doing all these things because A, I truly love what I do and I want to help as many men and women who are suffering from hair loss. But I understand this is what you need to do with business. And every month I scale more and more and more. The reason why I'm telling you this is I still go through that volume and consistency. In business, that's all you have. Again, you're not born rich. Daddy didn't give you a company. You don't have an inheritance from Uncle Lou who died. You didn't even know him. You didn't win the gene pool. You're not incredibly good looking. So in order to negate all of that, you need massive hustle, which is volume, and need massive consistency. Once you do these things, if you continue to do them over a 3, 4, 5, it might even be a 10-year process, you will be successful in that thing that you do. You don't have to be in business for yourself to do these things. You could be the best salesperson in your industry. You could be maybe the best CEO, the best employee who keeps getting raises because you're doing massive volume. You're doing more than all your other employees are doing. Your employers are gonna see that. They're like, this guy, I can't lose this guy. I can't lose this girl. He's a superstar. She's a superstar. This is how you win in life. You have to do more than everybody else around you. And it's really easy because most people do the minimum. They do the minimum in everything they do in life and they get minimum results. If you want maximum results, max out everything. If you can post 5 times on Instagram and that's your max, post 5 times on Instagram. If you can post 10 times on Facebook, do that. But you want to create massive volume and consistently do this over a period of time until people start taking notice. And attention by itself creates its own currency. So you want people to know who you are. You want those customers. You want to be following up with them every day. The only time, I'm going to give you a secret, the only time I stop calling a customer is when they flat out tell me to fuck off or they throw me on do not disturb. Other than that, I keep calling because I know what I know. They don't know what I know. So my job is to educate them. My job is to tell them, listen, this will help you. And I need to work different angles, do different things to make them understand, yeah, you know what? This guy's providing massive value to me. So volume and consistency is the key in anything in life. My name is Jared Schoonmaker. I hope this video helps. Please hit like, subscribe, that bell icon so you know when new videos are made. And remember, there are people who are lucky in life, but for the most part, majority of us were not. But we can create our own luck with volume and consistency. With that, take care.